to walk us through Gravity's series tying win.
Thank you, Riv. 1-1 in the series now. Looks like it could be an exciting day, maybe extending to 5 games. What I want to touch on immediately here is the Fizz-Vlad matchup in the mid lane and how it so quickly tilted in Keen's favor.
Right, so Keen, I think he played this type of Fizz once in LCS, and they won with that. It's like some sort of like Fizz from hell. He goes like tank items, and you think he's really squishy, but he's not because he has like 200 armor and MR, so you try and kill him, but you can't, and he just like baits your team into dying, which happened a few times this game.
And so what's the response there by Vladimir? We had a lot of discussion about the build path that Zhao Weizhao chose to go with, going only into the Hex Tech, not finishing the Will of the Ancients very early, and then transferring into that Abyssal, which slowed down his progression into CDR. It didn't seem very effective.
Well, I think that is not the most effective Vladimir build. I'm not even sure what runes he's going for. I think he's going for like AP per level and things like that. I think in the matchup against Fizz, he could have gone for Emirates, and it could have helped him in lane. And overall, I think if he went for like the usual Will of the Ancients path, even if Fizz like jumps on you and gets like almost all your HP, you can always go to race and just regen all in like a couple of seconds. So it's not that big of a deal. And then Fizz, he opts for the Abyssal, so he can go all in like 2-3 times, and then he gets out of mana. So until you just die to his all in, what happened in lane, I think, because Saint was there, you're pretty fine. And if you got the like more CDR, your pool is back faster, so you're less vulnerable to ganks. And I think Zhao Weizhao, he underestimated Saint ganks a lot and just like dying there a couple of times, and Keen snowballed pretty hard out of that.
I have to say, I think there was a better adjustment when it comes to the ganks that Saint was applying, the pressure rather that he was applying to the map. We saw a lack of pressure after that first kill in the first game. This time around, visiting that mid lane, making sure he put Fizz in a position to carry through the late game.
Right, so Hanser played a bit more reserved this game. He lost his flash early, and that's just because he was playing like super cautious. He didn't need to use flash to get out, but you know, he did just to make sure. So it's good that Gravity recognized that, you know, told Hanser, play back a bit. And yeah, Saint focused mid lane this time. Fizz, a champion that can snowball, roam around the map.
And we saw that manifest a bit in our replay. We're going to pull that up. We're going about 14 minutes into the game down to the Dragon River. This ends up being a 4-1 for Gravity. Alex, if you could walk me through this fight.
So this fight starts when like Sivir ult is down, and then Keen just jumps in YOLO, and everyone thinks like it's Fizz, we need to kill him. He dodges the rush Q, and then the beautiful equalizer just lands on the whole team, and they basically trying to kill Fizz. There is like super tanky, and the Rumble and Lucian just clean up and kill their whole team.
Yeah, there's this element, like you were talking about, Pobelter, where there's this really tanky Fizz, but he doesn't appear that way. At first glance, you're like, oh, 1,200 health or something like that. Let's just kill him. He's a threat. And he's got 4 kills. So the initial idea is we have to take care of him. But he draws so much threat and pressure from the enemy team that when that equalizer comes across, you know, it catches them off guard. And it kind of pointed to Gravity playing a lot of these fights out properly, and Impulse playing a little bit more reactively, right? They were going in just at the drop of a hat without necessarily thinking through the entire team fight.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is they've never played against tank Fizz mid before. I think most people can say that they've never played against tank Fizz mid before, so it's kind of difficult. You need to adapt to it, and it's really unorthodox. Like sometimes he just seems super tanky and you can't kill him, and you're like, well, this is broken. Tank Fizz is broken. And then other times he just doesn't do anything. So it's just really an awkward champion to play against.
Right.
So I really think that in this game, like Gravity vision control was much better, and like every fight was just like Gravity doing like all the preparations and going for the fight, and then Team Impulse are trying to react to it, and usually it was reaction like Sivir ulting like super preemptively and then there is no fight, and then after the Sivir ult is down, the fight goes on, and the position of Team Impulse is pretty bad for the fight. Like, you really want Morgana to be somewhere from the flank or just like tipping or flashing into 5 people, and that just doesn't happen. Morgana is just somewhere behind, like doing nothing in the fight, so you don't have like good ultimate or anything. And then like the same way as like you want both like Morgana and Vladimir be speed up by the Sivir ultimate to just like go in, Morgana ults 5 people, Vladimir ults 5 people, you get the awesome like damage and fight, but this doesn't happen this game.
Let's talk a little bit more about vision control. As you mentioned, it was definitely in Gravity's favor this game. Something that's interesting is the fact that both Impact and Xiao never upgraded their trinkets. They both had the level 1 yellow trinkets, whereas on the side of Gravity, we had upgraded trinkets across the board, except for except for Keen in the mid lane, but he had swapped to a sweeper. So Alex, when you talk about the vision game, what do you believe is the optimal setup in terms of trinkets for a team going into the late game?
So I think that in the late game you need 2 sweepers 100%. Like no matter on who, like mid laner or even top laner, it doesn't matter. Just like you need 2 sweepers because you need to sweep out those wards that like, of course you can buy the pings, but you still like need to check out the vision in crucial spots, and 1 sweeper is not enough for that. And I think that if Impact like upgraded his trinket really early in the game, with the amount of pressure he was causing the top lane, he could have just warded like entire enemy jungle, and then they would have much more information about like their rotations, and they could either like pressure top laner or at least know the place where Saint Vicious is at. And Saint Vicious didn't have the sweeper; he got the trinket ward. So basically, like only King got the sweeper, and Fizz won't go to clean those wards. So those wards would have stayed there, and they would have a lot of information from that. He didn't do that, and like I think that like that caused a lot of like vision advantage towards Gravity with the way how they upgraded their trinkets and how they were playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Gravity showing a bit of their team fight prowess there in that game. Keep it tuned right here for Game 3 of our quarterfinal battle between Gravity and Team Impulse. We'll be right back.
Is that X-Special?
Huh?
X-Special,
Yeah, X-Special. And
right?
Peter.
And Peter, right?
Yeah.
And the girl.
What? No, he's gonna miss the buy, and here comes the engaged 2-man knockup. First kill comes in, second one comes in as well. Xiao pushed out. It's a 3-kill start to the fight.
I think it missed onto Keen there. They're going to be going back for the fight. Xiao and Adrian are both low here. Rush on the outside, not able to provide too much.
Vi's dead. Come, get him.
I'm moving through.
Leona?
Yeah.
Go
collapse. Train collapse. I'm going in.
In, 6.
I'm going in.
Blind.
Kill blind.
I'm
Blind. Saber.
This is not a fight. Impulse wants to take. Solar Flare goes down. A Zanya's Soul Shackle does not connect with many members of Gravity.
Gravity have tied up the series 1-1.